This is lesson 2 for G1B Reach. The title for today's lesson is For Pete's Sake. Let's begin. All right, last class, we learned how to compare and contrast between two animals using the Venn diagram. Are you ready to compare between two animals? Great. What animal do you see here? That's correct. It's a flamingo. Let's learn about the flamingo, and then we'll answer some questions.
Flamingos have legs, and alligators do too. Alligators have 4 legs, but flamingos have 2. Flamingos have legs, and alligators do too. Alligators have 4 legs, but flamingos have 2.
Great. So, where does this animal live? That's correct. Now, let's compare between the flamingo and the alligator. Yes, they both have legs. That's correct. Flamingos have 2 legs, but alligators have 4. Let's compare and contrast between the flamingo and your favorite animal. That's my favorite animal too. Keep it up. What 3 animals do you see in this picture? That's correct. A flamingo, an alligator, and a tiger. Are these animals the same? You're right. All animals are different. Let's compare and contrast between a flamingo and an alligator. That's right. A flamingo is a bird, but an alligator is a reptile. Let's contrast between the alligator and the tiger. That's correct. An alligator lives in the water, but a tiger lives on the land. Great job. Let's take our first word for today. Repeat after me. Alike. Alike. Let's say it one more time. Alike. When 2 things are alike, they look the same. What color is this cat? That's right. And what color is this cat? You're right. They are both orange. They are alike. Can you think of 2 things that are alike? Great example. Let's take our next word for today. Different. Repeat after me. Different. One more time. different. Do you know what fruit this is? That's right, it's an apple. Do you know what fruit this is? That's right, it's a banana. I love bananas. Do you? Are these two fruits the same? They're very different. What color is the apple? That's correct. It's red. What about the banana? It's yellow. That's right. Fantastic. They're different. Can you show me two things that are different? Superb example. Let's move on. What's our next word? Body. Let's say that again. Body. One more time. Body. Look at the picture. What do you see? That's right. It's a baby. What's that? That's the baby's head. And what's that? That's right. That's the baby's body. Do you have a big body or a small body? Yeah, a bigger body than the baby. Wow. That's one tall giraffe. Oh, what's our next word? Feature. Let's say it again. Feature. Feature. Wow. What's this? That's correct. It's a giraffe's neck. Giraffes have very long necks, and that's its main feature. Let's take another example. The elephant. What does an elephant have? Fantastic. It has a long nose, and that's its main feature. Great job. Can you tell me what you think the flamingo's main feature is? Yeah, it has two long legs. Well done. Let's read the next word. Look. Look. One more time. Look. Look is how things appear. What do you see in the picture? That's correct. Two apples. What do they look like? They do look yummy, but they also look the same. Great. Can you show me two things that look the same? Great. Now that we've taken the words, let's get started with today's story. Could you circle the title of the story for me, please? Perfect. Let's read the title together. For Pete's Sake. Who's the author? Remember, the author is the person who writes the story. Usually, it'll come after the word by. That's correct. Ellen Stoll Walsh. What do you see on the cover of today's story? That's correct. Flamingos and an alligator. Do you think these two animals are similar or are they different? That's right. Who do you think is Pete? Let's see if your prediction is correct. Now, today's story is an animal fantasy. It's an animal fantasy because the story includes animals. They are the main characters. But the animals in this story can talk. They can also act like me and you, which makes it a fictional story. And that's why it's called animal fantasy. Are you ready to get started? Let's go. Let's read the first page together. I'm green, said Pete. I want to be pink. Everyone else is. Don't worry, said the others. You probably aren't ripe yet. It takes longer for some. Your turn. You read beautifully. Keep it up. So, let's talk about the characters. Remember, the characters are the people or animals in the story. That's right. He is Pete. Was your prediction correct? You sure were. What color is Pete? But what color does he want to be? Yes, he wants to be pink. Why do you think he wants to be pink? You're right. All his friends are pink. Okay, so let's compare and contrast between Pete and his friends. That's correct. The alligator Pete is green, but the flamingos are pink. Can you find another contrast between them? Great thinking. The flamingos have 2 legs, but Pete, the alligator, has 4. Do you think his friends care that he's different? Such good friends, you're right. How do you know they don't care? Yes, they said, don't worry. You probably aren't ripe yet. They want him to feel better. Let's read on and see what happens next. Is that true? Pete wondered. Probably, they said. Let's play in the sand. All right, your turn. Let's read. Great reading skills. Okay, so how does Pete feel now? Yes, his friends sure know how to make him smile. What do his friends want to do? I want to play in the sand too. Do you like playing in the sand? It can be so fun. I wonder what they're going to do next. Let's predict together. Yeah, I think they're going to swim too. Let's find out. Oh no, cried Pete. I have 4 feet. Okay, so Pete noticed something else. What did he notice? That's right. He has 1, 2, 3, 4 legs. But what about his friends? You're right. They only have 2. How do you think that's going to make Pete feel? What about you? How many legs do you have? That's right. You have 2 legs too, just like the flamingos. Let's read on. You're lucky, Pete, said the others. 2 and 2 extra. Come on, let's go wading. Pete tried to feel lucky. Before long, he was having fun. So, how does Pete feel now? That's right. How did his friends make him feel great? That's right. They really did tell him he was lucky. Do you have good friends just like Pete? Yeah, good friends are a real blessing. Awesome. Let's see what happens next. Stop, said the others, laughing. You're getting our feathers wet. Uh-oh, Pete didn't have any feathers. The best feathers take the longest to grow, they said. Hurry, it's getting late. Now it's your turn to read. Give it a try. Great. So I guess Pete found another difference in their features, of course. Could you name that out for me? That's correct. Pete doesn't have any feathers. What does Pete have? You're right. He has scales. But his friends did make him feel better. What did they say? That's great. Well done. They do take the longest to grow. Now, one of the strategies in reading is called expression. When you express when you're reading, you can tell how the character in the story feels. Let's take a listen and then you can try.
Stop, said the others, laughing. You're getting our feathers wet. Uh-oh. Pete didn't have any feathers.
You can tell how they felt when they said stop. You can also tell how Pete was feeling when they said, uh-oh. Let's try reading with expression. Go ahead, please. Fantastic. The others hurried home. Why do you think they're hurrying home? You're right. It was getting late. What do you think they're going to do when they get home? Yes, probably going to sleep. Let's read the next page. But poor, green, featherless Pete poked along on his 4 feet, very, very slowly. How do you think Pete feels? I think so too. Can you tell me what features or what words help me know what features Pete has? That's right, green, featherless, and 4 feet. Poor Pete. Why do you think he feels so sad? Have you ever felt sad before? Why did you feel sad? Well, I hope that never happens again. Let's see what happens next. Nothing could cheer him up. Do you know what the word cheer means? That's right. Cheer is make somebody happy. What do you think his friends were doing to cheer him up? It does look like they're hopping and playing. Did that make Pete feel happy? No. Let's see what happens next. Then, one day, some strangers stopped by on their way to the swamp. Flamingos, who looked just like Pete, almost puffed with joy. Whoa, what does Pete see? Are those flamingos? Wow, Pete does think they're flamingos. They're not flamingos, but they look just like Pete. What color are they? That's right, they're green. Do they have 2 feet or 4? 4. Do they have feathers? No, you're right. How do you think Pete feels now? Can you tell me which sentence makes you know that Pete is happy? Spot on. Almost popped with joy. Great. I'm different, but the same, he told the others. Well, for Pete's sake, Pete, they said, you always have been. Right. So, how does Pete feel now? He does look very happy. What does he mean when he tells them he's different but the same? That's right. You can look different, but like the same things. Are you different from your friends? How are you and your friends different? How are you and your friends the same? Great example. Now, let's use the Venn diagram. We're going to compare between Pete and his friends. So, how are they similar and how are they different? That's right. Pete and his friends are alike because they both like to play. How are they different? Great job. Pete is green, but his friends are pink. Pete has a mouth, but his friends have beaks. Great job. Now, I want you to tell me how Pete's friends and your friends are different, and how the both of you are alike. Great. Pete's friends have tails, but my friends have arms. Can you tell me something else that makes the both of you different? Well done. That was amazing. Today, we learned about comparing. We also read the photo essay for Pete's sake. We learned how to compare between Pete and his friends using the Venn diagram. We learned how to compare and contrast between Pete's friends and our friends. We also learned some new words. I hope you enjoyed today's class. Thank you for coming. Goodbye.